Alright, so we are back at it with
We
some
shall
more
reclaim what is
Road Trader.
rightfully ours.
And now we have this mutant, which I didn't mean to get, but I didn't trust the other guy, our Lady Cassia, as our navigator. But here we are. And so here we shall stay with this. What is she? She is an officer, like me. Similar build, similar pickups. Oh, her class is navigator though. Every even turn, additional action point. Every odd turn, they get an additional 20 perception. I'm guessing your willpower is way higher than your toughness. So that's probably very good for you. And you can stun? Good lord. I'll make you more tanky. Does that stack? It might, but I don't know if I want to do it. That way they'll have a +7 forever. Seems pretty good. As long as I use that ability on them. Increase the willpower more. Allies who have enemies adjacent to them. All melee attacks made by the target deal an additional damage equal to 2. What's that number? Officer's FEL bonus. The target is under the effective voice of command, they immediately make an attack of opportunity. That could be good. Navigator heals 6 wounds at the beginning of every turn and gains +1 additional wound for every Navigator talent taken. Healing increases. That seems like a tipping game that could go out of favor. Breakthrough ranks work as if there were one more enemy adjacent to the target. It allows this ability to be used on targets with no enemies adjacent to them. But why would I want that? Oh, so they would still get the additional damage without having to be next to somebody. Okay. Plus 10 fellowship under less than 50%. They also get additional plus 10 fellowship after using any officer ability on a target with less than. These two set of bonuses stack with each other but do not stack with themselves. So that means if I use an ability on her, on somebody, and they're both under half, then she gets plus 20 to those stats, which is crazy, but very situational. I do like that. I don't know how much AP she'll actually be using, although it's starting to seem like quite a bit. Then I could get an attack that uses a lot of AP and just kind of line that up with her. I don't even know what weapon she uses though. There. Their dodge is calculated by using their perception. Which is, again, better for her. So that would... Oh, it reset everything? Damn it. So it uses two officer abilities that do not grant an extra turn, grants a stand witness. Next officer ability that does not will also affect the officer. Whoa. I don't need you to get either of that. Power. Perception. I guess you could have it in case I don't use Adira. Yeah, there's literally no need for me to do that for either of them because that's what it can have to use this for, and I'm not ever dropping him. No. No. Yeah, I guess just more awareness for you. More perception. Willpower. Perception, because perception is your dodge. That way your dodge will be much better. Do you really have a 95% chance to dodge? I guess that's before their stuff comes into effect. Do not touch Cassia, apparently, is what we've done here. And you are super aware. Five, 65, so I'm not that far behind on willpower compared to her or Adira, but I've got a much better persuasion. Persuasion, commerce, fellowship. Alright. Sorry about the just character reading, but whenever you get a new person, you have to jump them up 6 levels. You just gotta read everything. I'm gonna go get that. Have a lot of tickler stuff.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
Need somebody to trade with. Didn't know we dropped a little bit of frames. Not a lot, but still. That's so annoying. Especially after everything. Oh, we're dropping more right as I say that. Lord Captain, Lady Navigator, welcome aboard. The site of Navis has been prepared for the communion ritual, but the lady never wished to rest in her quarters first. Your heart starts beating furiously, your breath comes short and choppy, and your fingertips tingle unpleasantly. You notice that Vicious is shivering slightly, and the crew are glancing around in puzzlement, searching for the source of the sudden wave of unease. No, we won't inhibit her powers. Without even looking at the Voxmaster, Cassie waves her away. First, I wish to speak with the rogue trader. Leave us. Of course. When you're ready for ritual, please let me know. Cassia sweeps her pencil gaze over Victus, then lowering her lashes slightly, turns to you. Before I begin the ritual, I wish to look once again into the eyes of the man whose fame your illustrious glory made you famous far beyond the bounds of your own system. Do you say so? It's so great it managed to penetrate the impregnable walls of Europe 5 long before we ever met. It truly is you, Ignatius, the person the whole expansive collector sets are talking about, and now a rogue trader as well. Oh, that's right, lore stuff. After a few seconds hesitation, Cassia let out a small exhale and raised her pointed chin. I have not yet thanked you for saving me on the station. My thoughts were clouded with so much mournful ash when Theobald's heart stopped. But you acted honorably. I did, and did not exploit me in my wretched position, and for that I am immeasurably grateful. But now, I am ready to go to the Sanctum Navis to perform the sacred rite. I require brushes, canvas, and the best paints you have on board, but no red. I shall take my leave of you for the duration of the rite. I ask that you do not follow me. Few can survive the gaze of my warp eye when it is opened. You got it, lady. I'm bad with warp stuff. We have a history. Lord Captain, I will oversee the open channel between the Lady Navigator and the bridge, and may the Emperor's light help us all. You ain't wrong. Foxcaster in the Sanctum Navis picks up the susurration of clothes, pious chanting and the metallic clicking of an implant. And the serene voice of the Lady Navigator breaks the silence, initiating communion ritual. You hear the exultant ring of metal freed from its scabbard, then the stifled gasp of the Lady Navigator. The rhythmic drip of liquid on canvas and the faint whisper of a brush. Icy, violet vortexes lashing an ocean with a million flails, and umber shadows spinning over the surface in a fiery dance. Storm rising above foaming waters, armadas drowning in fog. Out from one end to another cannot be seen. Here, beyond the wall of glass, a daughter forsaken by her father yearns for her brother, and the sun's pale disk goes in tireless pursuit of her. No, of me. Frozen rays lie that spring is here, and the light is deadened, the great ruler is gone. The Voxmaster recoils at Cassia's words and accidentally snaps one of the cogitator levers. The candle beneath her fingers emits sparks, and the Voxcatchers fall silent. She quickly flips the seer switches and bows guiltily. My direct apologies for cutting off the broadcast, Lord Captain. I have never heard the wards breaking through a navigator before. The connection restored now will not happen again. Soul-shredding screams drown out the Vox transmission. The servants in the Sanctum Navis are howling and shrieking like wild beasts, moaning in pain. Their throats roll from the strain, then sudden silence. The dull thud of dropping bodies proclaims their fate. It appears the servants were part of the Lady Navigator's rite, as it was for her predecessor. I will arrange for the bodies to be removed from the Sanctum Navis after the ritual, or what is left of them. Rogue Trader, I fear I have unfortunate news. Endless blackness has spread across the canvas, dividing what should be a hole in two, and my sight cannot glimpse the light of the Emperor as clearly as before. I cannot turn around. My brush only draws me onward. The way is blocked. By the Emperor's grace, the ritual was successful. Your vessel's temperament presented a challenge. Its cold steel grip didn't allow me to breathe freely, even for a second. It was as if the depths of the ship housed not only machine spirits, but something other. Now retreat to my chambers to recover my strength. Send for me if you have need of me. Lord Captain, congratulations on acquiring navigators. Spare me a few moments of your time, please. There are several matters that require your attention. I want to report on the condition of the station. You arrived too late to evacuate the residents of the station. The warp disrupts affecting Year 5 twisted the bodies and minds of its attendants. Corruption failed to affect Lady Cassia, thanked the Emperor. The navigators are trained to resist the Immaterium's pull. I would also like to remind you that Governor Medina is still waiting to talk to you in his command center. Of course, Lord Captain. Yeah. We will go talk to the governor. There's some commotion on the office deck. The Lady Navigator has left her quarters and is currently in the wardroom, where uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you should find out what has brought Cassia to the deck. Cassia? Please. I did the nice thing. I did the no misery. Don't you kill people.
Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance.
I wasn't ready for the voice acting. I apologize. The Lady Navigator is engrossed in pursuing the dusty tunes, which appear to have been neglected by the other officers, be it because of sloth or dullness of mind. When you walk closer, Cassie looks up at you at a start and hides a reading book behind her back.
Oh, this. I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves, and I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing.
Cassie carefully showed you the book, which turned out to be a collection of works by the Acadian naval commander and poet Alias Quint.
Urak 5 had a vast archive of its own, of course, although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works.
Cassia gently brushes off the dust of the cover with her thin, clawed hand, her eyes filled with longing after reminiscing about her lost home.
One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, a faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders, but it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you.
Cassia's responses were reserved and pointedly decorous, clearly intended to create a distance between you.
Your servants are somewhat sluggish when it comes to attending a noblewoman of the Navis nobility, but they are quite tolerable. Thank you for your concern.
Perception test succeeded. Cassia cringes ever so slightly, adjusts the adornments on her forehead, and awkwardly hides her clawed finger in the folds of her clothes. The unnatural appearance of Navigator often becomes a topic of gossip among lowly servants and officers alike. It is clear that she does not feel comfortable aboard a ship teeming with new people.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis nobility. But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior and your question just now insulting. Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying. You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I. I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself. Lord Captain? So many colorful sparks are flaring to life and dimming all around you. It is a veritable ocean of emotions. There are so many of them that I can barely see the pure white sincerity of your words. Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station, of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of Urak 5. So why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness here? At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities. And just imagine the things that await beyond, but my delight must seem childish to you, surely. In your heart, you must be finding all this quite amusing.
Definitely not. Definitely not possible. No. Eh.
Indeed. I did not know. That is to say, I could not have known, as it is the first time we are speaking in a circumstance so private. My word, when I found this place, it was so full of officers. Why did they all leave? Words like that, Lord Captain, could easily be misconstrued. You should familiarize yourself with some of the works in your library to learn the appropriate manner of conversing with a lady.
You started a romance. What? This is... This is the guidebook on how to further romance. So I'm pretty sure this is gonna happen at some point. Pick up the handkerchief, wait a brief moment to bring the handkerchief to your lips and touch it lightly before returning it to the lady. The seriousness of your intentions. The flower bud of truthing takes time to apply. Some patience, loyalty, impeccability, and adhering to the decorums of the nobility is key to earning the lady's favorable disposition. Mission report, Lord Captain. Members of a sacred cult operating aboard the ship have requested an audience. They wish to present gifts and introduce themselves. A sacred cult. Call themselves the Bloodspun Web. The cult defends the flagship from both internal and external threats. Lady Theodora held them in high regard and looked favorably upon their actions. Alright. We'll see. If Lady Theodora kept them aboard and approved, then maybe it's helpful. At least take off the helmet. Those on the deck watch in awe as the final figure moves gracefully into a ceremonial pose. Some of the officers whisper in excitement while others murmurs prayer to the God Emperor.
The Undying Emperor commanded us to spin a web of blood around his children, and we obeyed. We obey still.
They fall silent as a tall young woman steps forward. She moves towards you silently, the dim light casting shadow across the match, which conceals her fate. The masked cultist repeats the words in a mournful whisper. We obey still.
Domin von Valancius, death has whispered your name.
The woman's slender
We
fingers
disown Domin Theodora. We renounce our oath to her.
The woman's slender finger has been fitted with the metal claw. She points in your direction, gazes at you from behind her bone mask with the cold, grim eyes of an assassin. She pulls out a sinister curved blade and seemingly weapon suddenly appear in the hands of her motionless companions.
And now we give the gift of our blood to you. It is the gift of death. Death has whispered your name. The followers of the tenets of the web swear fealty to their new overlord and offer proof of their devotion.
Blades sing through the air and rivulets of crimson flow onto the deck. The young woman bows her head reverently as she hands you a heavy parcel. The others bow their heads as well. They seem unconcerned by the blood that trickles down their fingers.
We give you a blade, the silent verdict. The Undying One has chosen you to wield this instrument of death. We give you one of our own, Kibella. She will be your shield and shadow. And we give you the blood of these traitors. The tenets of the web will purify their souls.
Okay. You've heard many stories about death cults such as this one. These devoted holy assassins of the Imperium have turned death into a form of worship for the Emperor. They're exemplary slayers, invisible executioners, and the scourge of traitors, heretics, and fallen souls. Many righteous people honor them as votaries of the faith, while others see their fearsome rituals as frenzied spectacles touched by madness. The prisoners cowering under the weight of your gaze. Blood drips down the tear-stained faces of their captured officers, technomats and workers. A word has been carved into each of their foreheads with meticulous precision. Traitor, heretic, apostate, renegade. The cuts have been diligently and regularly reopened to prevent healing.
These renegades committed treachery against their domin. Their lips once praised the name of Kunrad Voigtveer, but it is your name they will whisper as they cross over to the other side.
The cultists are all void-born. Their light-standing bodies are clad in light armor which allows them to move with an acrobat's nimble grace and strike with an assassin's swift surety. Their red and black vestments are adorned with sharp spikes and ritual jewelry. Where time and training have worn their garments threadbare, you can make up patterns of bleeding lacerations.
The Domin has discerned our essence. This is a great honor for the blood-spun web. We have woven the bays of this ship together with the threads of our faith for many years. We keep the greatest relic, his tarot, through which he sends us his blessed revelations. We obey the whispers of the Undying One. This is our service to him. This is our service to you.
A deck of psychoactive cards bearing sacred and meaningful images. Tarot cards are used for divination predicting the future. They are believed to be able to capture images sent by the Emperor himself. In the hands of a skilled psyker, the Emperor's tarots can be a truly potent divination tool. Your heart is filled with awe as you gaze at the cultists. You recognize this feeling you have experienced before when you walked through the scorching flame and survived. The eyes of your grand guests burn bright with sacrificial fervor. They serve the god Emperor with wholehearted faith and devotion.
I am the second spinner of the blood-spun web. The honor of this title is bestowed only upon those who have ushered more souls than... It is shameful to speak of one's own deeds. I'm here to become your shadow, not to make boasts.
Nicola stops her eyes. She touches a slender finger to the fresh wound on her hand and prints the symbol of a lock across her lips in blood.
So you may offer the souls of these traitors as a gift to him. You have the authority to order their execution. Their blood will bind us together through him. For the God Emperor, the Undying One is death itself. The Undying One is duty itself. Give the order, Domin. Let a spinner of the blood-spun web undergo the test of a sacred trial. A dagger that has not sliced through sinew is nothing more than a toy. Let the final dance begin.
Your Emperor won't save you!
I will be your end.
Blood has a remarked background as a death Kochiki's called Raining Blood. When used, it causes the target with its next melee attack to explode, covering the floor and any enemies find the target. They suffer additional damage. We can use special provocations called Blood Spot to spill even more blood. Bell is a blade dancer, incredibly skilled sword fighters who can devastate enemies using blade dance and death from above. The light attack strikes random adjacent. If there is only one, all the strikes are directed at that person. If two swords are equipped to deal significantly more strikes. As the blade dancer to leap to select itself upon landing, deal damage to all adjacent targets. This blade can be used multiple times each turn, but each use requires a charge to be spent. They regain by killing enemies.
The shadows will see it done. Trust me. The other side awaits. Let your soul be purged. As honor or death is a blessing.
Yeah, I had a feeling that wasn't going to really work for you guys.
Killing brings me no pleasure. I will set them free.
All of you will bleed!
shall not fail. The shadows will see it done. Trust me. Tribute to the undying Emperor. As honor ordained.
Death to non-believers!
An offering of blood. As the tenets demand. Death is a blessing.
Okay. I like it. A cut to the heart, a cut to the throat, a cut to the stomach. These wounds have been inflicted according to his pleasure. The blood of the apostates will wash away the stain of their treachery so that their souls may prostrate themselves before the Undying One's throne and beg his forgiveness. I have acted with reverence and shown proof of my loyalty. Will you accept me, Domin? Will you make me your shield and shadow? Your lordship, the spinners of the blood-spun web were watching, tracking, and killing Von Valance's enemies long before the warrant of trade passed to Lady Theodora. However, their blade has also been known to cut short the lives of highly upstanding persons. The Factorum swallows casting a fleeting glance at Cabela, but I certainly do not in any way condemn the deeds of the deeply esteemed cult. I'm sure they must have had a good reason. Master at Arms clears her throat. The cultists are the scourge of the seditious. They bring the unrighteous to ruin. The enforcers respect the blood-spun web, for we share a common goal, to bring his light and his harsh justice to the darkest depths of this ship. Scourge of the seditious are not. Folk are afraid of them for a reason. A couple watch ago, these spinners took a train driver to pieces for some kind of ritual. I don't know what old Malak did to earn that privilege, though. And who's going to feed his family now? A man in a suit-covered uniform takes a drag on his eho stick, exhaling thick smoke through his clenched teeth. But that's the lower deck problem. What matters is that the blood-spun web serves you faithfully, Captain. My predecessor once delivered a sermon about how the spinner saved this vessel from the servants of the arch-enemy. The blood-spun web paid the price in blood, a river of scarlet that flooded the decks from bridge to bilge. They became the blood of the flagship, the pulse in its veins and the beat of its heart. The great sacrifice earned them the favor of House von Valancius. Yeah, ain't no way Cabela's movements are slow, almost rhythmic as she removes her ceremonial mask. The dark shadows of her eyes accentuate the deathly pallor of her skin, which is covered in ritual scars. Henceforth, I'm your shadow, Domin, an instrument of death placed in your hand by the Undying One, for so was ordained, and so as Tarot forespoke. Also come bearing an invitation from the Vizier of the Bloodspun Web. He wishes you to know that the doors of the Undying One's temple are open to you. Are you suggesting the Lord Captain should go down into the depths of his flagship to search for this temple? With all due respect, the lower decks are for servants and crew. They are not a fitting place for his lordship. He is the first among us. The Vizier has spun the web of fate for 5-fold longer than I have led. Bloodshed, my mentor and teacher. Not permitted to say. If you wish to find the temple, you must walk the path of Saint Ariane, the matriarch spider. Hers was a thread that would become the blood-spun web. The path began deep within the flagship in the dark tunnels of the freight line, and that is where yours must begin as well. This journey will bring closer to the thread of the web, closer to the Undying One, closer to understanding death. Your journey will begin in the darkness of the deepest tunnels. The Vizier awaits you. Your blade awaits direction, Domin. We will speak again when the time is right. I mean, if they're gonna be a death cult who works for me, I feel like doing their pilgrimage in my own ship is not the biggest ask. It's not like they're saying I literally have to go on a galaxy-spanning pilgrimage. They're like, no, it's just your ship. Like, yeah, it's a rogue trader ship, so it's massive, but it's your ship. The rogue trader ship is a veritable city sailing through the void. The ship has numerous compartments. Navigate these compartments using the map, which you can access from the main elevator or from any compartment. So we shall. Sturdy built man with an augmented jaw stands at attention. The dark circles under his eyes speak to many sleepless nights, but his voice is loud and spirited. Welcome to Freight Hub, Lord Captain. I am Attic Frenso, captain of the forces in Lower Deck Bay. Master at Arms has assigned me to be your liaison for the duration of this stay. Would you like to inspect the control room or to begin searching for the Temple of the Bloodspun Web with obvious concern? Master at Arms ordered us to be on standby after the Bloodspun Web openly invite you to their temple. We have been waiting your arrival every day since then, Lord Captain. I'm sorry, Lord Captain, I do not know. No one knows. The cultists are too adept at hiding keep to see, and worries me that you might have to walk around the entire compartment looking for the temple. Lower decks are not suitable for someone of your status, and it's not just the grind of the crowd or brutish laborers. I suspect that the entrance to the temple is hidden in some dark corner where you might encounter criminals or contagious outcasts. That kind of fact that dwells here, you might even be attacked. Such ghastly place as you describe. We are not headed there, are we, Lord Captain? He frowns and quite bluntly, although the bay performs its function well, even its more civilized sections are sorely lacking in discipline. I was only assigned recently, so I've had time to straighten everything up. Since doing so will require making some serious changes, I am not inventing excuses, Lord Captain. As the officer in charge, I accept full responsibility for what takes place in the compartment. But in that case, I urge you to remain vigilant. The freight trains move at great speeds, and the evidence of the residential units are a despicable rabble. One must never drop one's guard around them. And preserved you from stumbling into the pestilence pit. That's where the madmen and the lepers live. And for protects, Lord Captain.
I am your shadow.
Now, the agility needs to be higher, but you're a blade dancer, so that should be in the cards. Medicaid. Anytime an ability or talent uses a Voidborn character can instead use the intelligence bonus. Oh, this is Voidborn stuff. I think that would be pretty good, considering it seems like dodge is the main thing for her. We're gonna boost that agility. The Blade Dancer immediately returns to somewhere they started their turn. This move does not provoke attacks of opportunity. If the Blade Dancer used death from above this turn, this movement repeats all use of this ability in reverse. Oh, so if I use like death from above like 6 times, she'll just like jump backwards all of it? Faces a side of their choice and immediately ends their turn. Until the beginning of the dancer's next turn, they can dodge area attacks without moving, are immune to all types of force movement, gain plus 20% parry against attacks, and can now parry attacks made against adjacent allies. They can even parry ranged attacks made from that side. The chance to parry is calculated as if it was a melee where the attacker's weapon skill is equal to the hit chance of the attack. The attack is parried in any way can be redirected towards one of the enemies on the selected side. The chance of redirection is equal to half of the Blade Dancer's parry chance. Good lord, that was a lot of... That seems to be the best. I guess you don't really have anything else to boost. Guess he can be our Medicaid. For agility. Dancers deal +5 plus Medicaid divided by 10% critical damage. You can use medkits as if having Medicaid or the corresponding feature or talent. Blade Dancer's dodge divided by 10, some more health. This is damage of all subsequent attacks that make this turn by 5%. This effect stacks up to 3 times. Area attacks, burst attacks, including Blade Dance, and any other attack that deals multiple hits are considered single attacks. This TGH, toughness. Parry an attacker's melee critical hit chance bonus determined by the difference is halved. I feel like that's also, especially since I boosted agility. Nobody has better eyes than Cassia. She's got 3 of them. Demolition. Death Waltz. When using Death Waltz, immediately heals the full. The cost of abilities that cost wounds is reduced by half. For additional charges of death from above until the end of combat, death from above deals plus agi bonus additional damage. Oh, that could be good with that one move, because if it immediately grants 4, then it actually grants 8. Upon using Death Waltz after killing enemy, the Blade Dancer gains plus 3% dodge. Stacks up to 6 times, so I guess that's 18. Or 18 uses, or 6 uses. That might be good. And toughness. Targets a single enemy vowing to dispatch their mark. Next attack against their selected enemy cannot be dodged or parried. If this attack kills the target, the Blade Dancer gains 13 wounds and gains 1 AP along with additional action this turn. This ability can be used multiple times per turn, but it grants plus 1 AP and an additional attack only once per round. That actually might be fine, because as long as I know the next attack is going to kill, then I get the health back plus the 1 AP along with the additional attack. What's the captive audience? Next attack inflicts bleeding on all targets hit. The targets must pass a toughness resist with a minus 22 penalty or become immobilized. That could also be really good. As long as they fail the toughness resistance test. But how many enemies are going to? Yeah, I like that. Dogmatic as hell. The expenditure by the rogue trader and their allies, including heroic acts, is reduced by 20%. First round of combat, all critical hits scored by the parties inflict burning. In addition, all fire damage suffered by enemies increased by +1. Cool. You gain the second tier archetype.
No suffering will
she's
make
got
me
more health
forget
than
his
Avalar with that
sacred
plus
words. Burn the heretic, kill the mutant, purge the unclean.
The dashboard controlling the rail junction is lit up with the indicator lumens. A statue of Magos Ionis 9, architect of Freight Hub LV.
Know your duty.
Oh, there is the little blood mark. Is that blood? Just a little bit. Campy, we scrubbed the deck 3 times right before the rogue trader came. Void, take me, the captain will have our heads. Is this the welcome you give the rogue trader? Ablar's noxious fire anchor. Whoever had the audacity to leave behind us this appalling symbol of seed, set a monster of arms and called them to account for themselves. That cultist carved bleeding marks like this into their own skin. Originally one of the symbols associated with the Bloodspun Web. What was it called? The Song of Trailing Blood, I think. It's a prayer familiar to many in this compartment. We Spanish say it well, and they, well, perform their senior acts of service to the Emperor. The soundless shadows sank into the dark, /feet crescendo a fatal dance. Blade song and tempo, each edge an echo. Between odes to death rose, now honors sacred blood, as she once trod the black of foes. That countless souls, but none who know. When I took up my post here, I made sure to familiarize myself with all the particular qualities of this compartment, and soon heard about the verse and decided to investigate. I questioned a number of people who followed the Bloodspun Web, and as I was trying to figure out if there was anything pernicious about it, pernicious, and eventually I learned the whole thing. The words are certainly strange, but it's nothing with worse than that. Something of like a prayer that several verses that tell about like Ariane by the Matrix Spider. Hope you found what you're looking for and return to the upper deck safely.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Rest of the hub's files for this works out. Do you have any idea how much it costs? There, 57 ration cards. It's all I've got, I swear. What device heroic could I get? I'm guessing I'm not doing you any more favors. Give up the drink and get used to the life and the pestilence bit. I hope you get hit by a train. Interesting. Can't talk to the quartermaster. Running does to someone unfortunate enough to be flattened by the train, like listening on the track. Does it? Oh, it does. Right there. Nothing
Let
stops the
us
train,
walk this
apparently.
path to the end.
Long you started to quiet the sounds of the station become the shadows grow longer. It seems to stretch in the direction of the adjacent section. Mercy, please save me. The omen gasps for air through burnt lips, slipping in and out of delirium. His skin is dripping from his gaunt body like melted wax from a candle. His eyes somehow intact, alive, clear, and filled with pain, stare at you from where his caked eyelids. Spinner came. He painted the symbol, then he gave me water and whispered a strange verse. He told me to memorize it and to recite it later so that help would come, and here you are. Then I should. To suit smirched soul, her mercy she did grant. Last breath Express, knife meant heart, removed from chest, passed on to death. A duty blessed a bomb for those who suffer anguish and distress, long brought to rest, immortal bounds, the soul divest. He might survive, but he will be maimed for life. Too much of his muscle been charred down to the bone. Even if he does retain some ability to move, pain will all be his constant companion. His motor skills have been damaged beyond repair. A broken man or a corpse, time will tell. I grant you a merciful death. No, mercy, so be it. I can't take this pain anymore. I'd rather die. Sorry. There's no curse more terrible than the existence between unlife and undeath. You have liberated a tormented soul, Dumbin. The Undying One sees the good you have brought. Lord Captain, how may I serve you? What are you doing? Burning the port shacks, Lord Captain. The rebel built them, cutting off the air supply to next bay, making it difficult for the Inferni to work. We've told the serfs to get out of here time after time, but they won't listen. Captain Fresno has ordered everything to be turned down, and outward the area to be sealed off. How to serve the dynasty.
The Divine watches over us.
Smashes you cheerfully with this e-hosted Lord Captain. What an unexpected counter. What brings you to this compartment? The famous cuisine and magnificent vistas, no doubt. I don't have the foggiest idea, and that's probably for the best. I have my hands full as it is. I'm gonna patch up salvage locomotive number 3. This cloudbird is my personal favorite on the entire freight line. Every couple of years, salvage gets mad. His boiler catches fire and starts spitting steam at the repairman. Guess who they call to take care of these situations? The Inferni, of course, but that's alright. I love Savage. When he's in a good mood, the feeling of standing on his levers and speeding down the freight line is indescribable. The roar of the boiler, the wheels thumping like mad, and all that furious power pulsing in your hands, responding to the slightest movement. How about I introduce you? Before he's covered technical rooms, lumens, and levers. The platform shakes with the boiler's mighty vibration as the iron piece beneath your feet growls and snorts. The black-hearted fiend is angry and refuses to obey. Right now, Savage is powered only by the auxiliary maneuvering engine. We will need to start the main rudder if we want to take a trip down the freight line. Unleashing the train blessing algorithm. Let not corrosive wear separate the wheel sets. Let the traction drive receive the touch of the motive force granted by the invisible hand of the Omnissiah. Let his grace strengthen the joints and supports that lift the body above the decay of mortal tracks. Hear me, driver, and praise the machine god thrice. For it is only by his will that the miracle of sacred locomotion is accomplished. The blessing has been successfully executed. The stubborn machine does seem remarkably similar to a wild beast. The roar of the mechanism resembles hoarse growling, and the scarlet glow of the lumens on the control panel make you think of the malicious glare of a predator. The spirit of this machine is vicious, but strong and lively. Deafening clangs follows from savage sinners, and the train shudders underfoot as preparing to leap forward. Whoa, careful, your lordship. Don't let this monster smash us against the nearest wall. I'm sure you would be all too eager. Put your hand in the big lever and gently give it a pull. Very gently. Savage doesn't like being hassled. An indignant groan emanates rise from the depths of the machine, and 10 shudder passes through the lever into the palm of your head, and there's a strange feeling of emptiness in your stomach. Savage's fiery heart is stirring. Do you feel it? There's so much energy and defiance in him. This is a rocket, not a locomotive, unruly and enamored with speed, but quite willing to submit to a strong hand. The laboratory smoothly but firmly, then pump the fuel with his command room. You don't say. New explosion inside Savage shakes his iron body, causing your eyes to see double from the vibration. Now you're feeling his real power. He can run down the entire freight line in a minute, given the chance, and kill everyone who rides him at that speed. Now try applying some thrust to the main rotor, grab those pair of levers, and give him a firm tug. Steam bursts from the sit in front of you, but Iron definitely covers you with his shoulder. A moment later, you realize that you cannot hear a thing, or rather, you hear only one thing. The dragon's roar, triumphant and powerful. Savage has awoken and appears to have agreed not to kill us both. All hail the Lord Captain. You have subdued a mighty beast today. Now I'm sure you have urgent business to attend to. It's time for me to drive Savage on the line and see if he is feeling cranky. To still see its complex maintenance as lesser evil compared to hiring ignorant, clumsy scroungers to do the job.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
A group of beggars are rattling their almonds and ostentatiously displaying their sunken bellies in various disfigurements. A toothless man falls to his knees before you. Your lordship, spare a throne for those who can't even get the worst jobs. Forgive us our impudence. We're leaving.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
There's one here.
I rise above hardships.
Strong wealth at base, the rest is junk laid out on the counter is merely a smokescreen for the more valuable and likely illegal goods that are not hidden now for idle glances. The Garkers are crowding around a makeshift stage watching a strange duo perform. A man with odd-looking goggles pushed up against his forehead, hands wrapped in one-letter gloves, playing a tune on the handmade flute. Next to him sits a stack of crates supporting some kind of game board. A scruffy rat is rolling small glass balls around the board. Several workers empty their pockets, start throwing ration cards, bolt nuts, and even a few power panels into the small chest next to the board. The flute player winks at the crowd and switches to a different tune. The rat squeaks excitedly and starts throwing the colorful balls the players have chosen around the maze of tunnels on the board, but not a single one reaches the goal hole marked with the red circle. The rat just rolls all the balls off the board or into dead ends. Once the first group of players get their hopes dashed and leave empty-handed, new workers immediately take their place. The rat's movements from the flick of its tail to when and where it pushes the ball obeys its master's wordless commands with uncanny precision. It notes the pauses of the rhythm. Every part of the melody serves as a signal to the flute player's tiny assistants. The rat scurries around the board, spurred on by the flute. Its movements appear erratic at first glance. You notice how consistently the ball seems to miss the goal at the very last moment. While the rat's clumsy, amusing scampering distracts the specters, its nimble tail directs the balls away from the hole. The crowd, which has been too absorbed in performance to notice your presence, turns towards you, expressions of frightful awe appearing in your workers' favor. Many start whispering prayers. Many a grand story of the Lord Captain's generosity is told, and I swear on my flute today I will add another. To a fortune peddler, the Lord Captain Grace is a gift for fate itself. Perhaps you would like to trade us some of that Captain's fortune of yours, your lordship. My mother loved music. She used to hum beautiful melodies to me, and when she passed away, I carved this flute from her hip bone and learned to play. I have sorrow and respect for her memory. I am but one of many. Voice in the crowd, a cog in the mechanos, and his humble servant. Flute player is all they call me because that's what I am. I make up tunes to give the people's first bite of day after hard work. Flute player smiles mysteriously and brings the flute to his lips. A simple, brisk melody pours out of the instrument. The glum face of workers and traders soften a little, and the stone seems around to less quality than before. And he continued to whistle the unassuming ditty. The story of a simple man from the lower decks, honest with himself and others. He risked life to protect the oppressed from those corrupted by powers. He takes from the rich and gives to the needy. Oh, it's Robin Hood. He helps without asking anything to return. Them aside, hero tales admired by children and grown people alike. They seem mean. I know they probably give experience, but... Memorize his flute, you hear claws, and a moments later, green ball pops out the center. You've already seen through the flute player's performance. You listen to play and watch the rat closely. As you start tapping your fingers on the edge of the crate, adding to your own rhythm or two. The rat scrambles in confusion, mistaking your commands for those of its master, and starts rolling the ball towards the goal. When the ball drops into rat, few impressed whistles come from the crowd. Cleverly done, your lordship. Well, I had no doubt that you'd be a worthy opponent in your strategy. I think I will keep it in mind for future games. Thank you for the generous gift. These folks will shower me in ration cards to get their hands on something that belongs to your lordship. Fortune give me the brightest of smiles this day. Oh, we all leveled up from playing with the flute guy. The officer increases the knowledge result by 4. That's right. I wanted to get... Character level 14, and I just hit 12, so we're close to the next level for the Psyker Majoras. Um, I'll try that. No, that's not even really important at the moment. Oof, this is rough. Yeah, we'll do that. There's 25% of those cycles maximum wounds. Sorry, my wife came in. Oh, what do I do? You will boost. Boost full power. Alright, time to, I guess, boost weapon skill with you. And more demolition. Increase toughness. And cosmetic A. Alright, those two are pretty high up. Final melt attacks, gain additional +8 damage, gain 24% armor penetration. Better ballistic skill. You got the good gun. So does he. Okay, stacking +10. Oh. To hit chance and dodge reduction against any target they hit with a single target attack. So successful critical hits from single target increase that hit chance and dodge reduction by 20%. That actually could be good with that sniper. Increase chance on the next attack, dodge on the next dodge test, and chance of success on the next resistance. These bonus disappears independently from each other after being successfully applied. Multiple enemies are the same distance from that point, all of them move. So if I pick like a poison area, I can tell multiple people possibly to all run to it. That sounds pretty good. Works really good together with my character. Cassie is also dogmatic, which is interesting considering she is immune to it. More dogmatic than me. Of course, he's iconoclast. Everybody's dogmatic in this group.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
I see what others do not.
One portion of ration protein and a mug of water. Ooh, ration. How many times do I need to tell you, ungrateful magnet? Mistakes must be paid for. For mercy in the throne's name, I beg you. Batter worker throws himself at your feet and touches the toe of your boot with his dirty palms. Your gracious lordship, hand of the god emperor, save your unworthy servant. Get lost. The heavy, fleshy button pummels the man's back and short several times, his bones crack audibly. My sincerest apologies, Lord Captain, your boot. I'll clean it right away. We've gathered around. Your lordship, I work hard, never ever even take breaks or rest, and all I earn is 7 ration cards with 15 mouths to feed up back home. The fortunes shake me down every ship, just like they do every other honest worker. Enough whining. You and your pals lifted a box of Nutri-Bars a few watches ago and 2 canisters of waters before that. I didn't beat the life out of you because I took pity. This is the thanks I get? You quarantined the hub for 20 watches and refused to give out rations if you didn't have cards. Cards we have no way to earn. And today you earned 15 cards in a single ship because you do work for 3 people. Or did you take your pals to a dark corner somewhere, do them in and take your share? I didn't do them in, it was an axe the Star Wars stop. They got their heads bashed in by crates. The dead don't need rations. We appropriate nothing, we just monitor and redistribute, without our lying and thieving love. Give instructions to sailor for people holding more than the standard amount of ration cards, to prevent supply embezzlement and famine. They do take our cards, your lordship, and then grow fat using them for themselves. The worker's eyes squeeze shut tightly as he whispers these accusations. Seems unable to believe his stroke of luck. Ooh, where do I go, Wes? I don't really believe the worker. Though insistent disciplines are only to dive back down as soon as the info branch are returned. The members immediately return to pleas for mercy. Sullen red-bearded man with keen black eye draws his eye appears the same to size you up the whole time you're speaking, but now he is hastening to conceal himself behind the gun. The next thing you know, you're watching him hurry deeper into the tunnels.
No! Know your duty.
Unexpected result.
This is out of the ordinary.
Martian cars.
This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
We'll save. Several people are eagerly rummaging through a rock-filled weapon from the Enforcer's arsenal. Big man with a pockmarked face is first to react. He attracts the others while it's a piercing whistle. Who are you? There's not supposed to be anyone here. Ah, doesn't matter. Identify yourself. Makeshift armor peeks up from beneath their ragged clothes and their battle weapons display a patchwork of repairs. The recruit stares longingly at the racks where the good plasteel gleams, restlessly clutching their humble weapons. What are you gawping at? Hurry up and bend your back, scissors right and proper. Lurcher, you must excuse these blockheads. I was taken aback myself. It's not every day you see the rogue trader in flesh, and as for this, I won't insult you by now denying it. You caught us red-handed. Hard Nine's a gang. I mean, Brotherhood from Transport Bay 9. Don't think we're parasites. We do our bit for the prosperity of the ship. Sort of our assistance to the Enforcer. Self-appointed. We make sure that order's maintained in the compartments where the Enforcers are too lazy or greedy for bribes. Put a stop to robbery and free thinking, and well, we accept a small contribution that shows things. Do business. We're no rebels. If anyone blasphemes against your lord, we call the Troublemaker's order, and we shed blood for the flagship without fear. I suppose that makes us defenders of the ship. I wish. Frenzo, the new had our informant strung up. He's tightening the screws down. We can barely breathe. Today's the last time we'll come to pick over this compartment. The load gains initiation rite of French edition. By voluntarily removing a finger, the newcomer shows their determination and willingness to join us forever. It's also a badge of honor. What in the void have I been sitting making speeches for? Thought we had ourselves an alright Lord Captain, but no, he's straight-laced type. Bring it on, then,
I will
Lord
cast
Innes.
you into eternal darkness!
Are you ready to die? A dance of blades and shadows. The shadows will see it done. Final web.
So you're all around, huh?
I shall not fail. As honor ordained, blade whispers your name.
Why 0? Ah, there.
Let your soul be purged.
Okay. So they have some armor to dodge that stuff. She can pop up too.
I'll do
from
it.
Here.
Go!
art is for the weak. I'll do it.
Yeah, drop off those plates, boys.
Hold on.
There is only death, yours or mine.
Oh, my faith shields me.
Let's make it quick.
Aim for the heart next time.
If I may, me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
As the tenets demand. Trust me, the other side awaits.
Battlefields are always drowned in scarlet. I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Mobilize.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. At your beck and call.
Right of all of that.
Request approved. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. My vow is of significant value. High momentum.
Rejoice in service.
Indeed. At your beck and call. Grey hair, sure hand. No matter the cost. Follow my lead. It will be done. An exemplary strike. Victory is imminent.
Actions will speak louder than words.
gives me no pleasure. The shadows will see it done. As honor orders, my blade whispers your name. As the tenets demand.
Out of my way!
Just a minor setback.
Just almost killed his own guy there.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Oh, I should have used that. Yeah, I'm forgetting all of the stuff
Let's
that I
get
got.
to it!
I will endure.
Step aside. The navigator is coming.
Oh, that really does mean all creatures.
Isn't this a job for the serfs? Another foe painted black. I'll show you why navigators are feared.
Trust me. Caught by the web. As honor ordains. I would that I could. Trust me.
Heavy. %, not as good as his current stuff. Better overall. Oh, I forgot the weapon they gave me. Silent Verdict. If anybody gets close to me, we hit them with the blade that's bigger than us, apparently, and flips through the floor. Why did you not start off with 2? It doesn't make any sense, but okay. You can fix that. -5 diamond. Blast. Plus 2 for support to each up with a blood blast effect. That just start his equipment. Seems. Oh, that is literally like your mask, isn't it? Yeah. Here, have a grenade. Grenade. Heal fire grenade. This you're really good at Medicaid, so you should have 2 of those. Go on, Traveler. Alright.
The machine god grants the insight.
Like the
Let the
cargo in my own
faith guide
ship.
my path to glory.
A Ripper. Much higher rate, double the rate of fire. Alright.
Let us walk this path to the end.
Fighting to the death, huh? Goals. Bro, I do not think you're getting something besides sludge. I think it's only sludge.
The shadows reveal their secrets. Fortune smiles on us, an ill omen. I see what others do not.
Really do.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
Red of rat carcasses and yellow-green moss doing the cloudy sludge along with other unidentifiable ingredients.
Rightfully ours.
The day the Lord Captain wandered into our slum will be remembered in legends. The broad-trotted man raises a hand in greeting, his old prosthetic creaks frantically as it takes the weight of his body. The locals and the enforcers call me the foreman. I have no other name. You might say I'm in charge here, in this hole of a place. You recognize the shaggy red bear and the keen black eyes. That's the man who's watching you. You're calling with the enforcer and the station worker. Watching one of my workers take a beating. I feel sorry for the lad, but there was nothing I could do. The foreman smiles right, showing his yellow teeth. Almost all the front's been knocked out. I stuck my neck out in the past, not do it again. Believe it or not, the soup made from the mold, slime, and technical drain water has been simmering here in this vat for at least 200 years non-stop. See the growth over the walls over there? We harvest it, dry it, and use it to season the soup. If we're lucky, the smell attracts a boy rat and someone gets to have meat in their bowl. The foreman points a finger proudly towards the vat. It's for those who can't even earn a ration card. I feed them in exchange for services or favor. Sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't. I don't think that's a good idea. Old slime is something of an acquired taste. Takes 2 years, maybe 3 for you something to get. We got it. I have willpower for this. And is there an internet disconnecting? Awesome. If the outlook is damaged, recommend that you dispatch authorized units to locate an appropriate successor. Corral's test succeeded. With the first spoonful comes the immediate urge to regurgitate the disgusting sludge. The heat is followed by dizziness, yet you stoically persist and force a slimy chunk of something intermediate down your throat. The crowd is gawking at you wide-eyed. Your words echo in absolute silence, which lasts only for a moment before the starting four erupted their prayers to you and him, tears glistening in their eyes. The Lord Captain himself has tried our food and found it worthy. Remember to be grateful for any nourishment, as it is a blessing. The foreman bellows and roars while discreetly interposing himself between you and the crowd of ecstatic commoners who look like they might otherwise swarm and actually trample their overlord in a frenzy of adoration. Got it! So does that mean Wilson is a what you call it, delicacy now? Have you boosted like upper deckers all this time and not even known it? Not even a little bit, my boy, but still like with people like the rights of mysteries. I'm grateful to them for their service to the God Emperor, but to be honest, I can't get behind the love of death. I'm much too fond of living.
The divine watches over us.
affecting the efficiency of this stretch of railway. Oh, I thought it was missing for a second, but I just had to zoom back.
Over there!
Just as he ordained.
Give or give to the ones who see nothing but hears everything, then the truth will be revealed to you.
Know your duty.
This is where the sick and broken are herded to die of the various diseases. Don't touch anything. Stop being so bloody difficult. What's that thing the dead cult to say? Your time has come, or what have you? Hey, internet's back. No, please, what did I do? Nobody cares. Talk about being everywhere at once. How about we take a step to the marketplace? We'll get to eat soup tonight. Brutal. Specimens before you must be the most repellent inhabitants in the compartment. They are covered in sores and bald patches, glistening with pus, and the stench of unwashed body brings a tear to your eye. One of them glowers at you and grunts. For the crime of wealth, that dead bastard had rations and fuel cells. We'll trade them for forage. Lord Captain on our show, and I'm St. Drissus, and here's my regalia. Armpit where the wood boils. Cassiela Fainside, hasty government of the gracious emperor. Why are we talking to these horrible people? I fear, Lady Cassia, that these and many other questions will be left unanswered. Even meeting wretched heretics such as this brings me joy. Wiping out even a drop of corruption is still a worthy deed. You detect a notice of hysteria in the vagrant's laughter. The fingers of many are convulsing between. There's something in the fearless way they look at it. Too strange and unnatural. Old eaters, outcasts, folk who have no place even among the lowest of the low. Some were born that way, some were driven out to keep them from spreading the container. We're born less near the bad, the enforcers try to shoot us on sight, and if it's our fault that we're born in a terrible place, we are worms in the rotten belly of this ship, fodder for disease. You see a tongue stud with small, underdeveloped teeth. This is no disease, but an obvious mutation. The longer you stare at the matter, the more deviations from the human form you detect. Riches such as this, disfigured by genetic abnormality and disease, are the perfect breeding ground for true corruption. Don't expect steak. You get it to me freely, you got it? I don't think I can fix this. Oh, you'll leave, but without your boots and your weapons and maybe a piece or two of your flesh. Did anyone ever try to put... What are you now? We know your kindness. You doubts with us would die. Alright. We'll cut you and trade what you have on you for a pile of scran. Hey, guys, come on if you want to share the
The
Impure
cannot
spoils.
escape their fate.
Your Emperor won't save you!
I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak.
I'm not accosted. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
I serve the ruinous powers!
Oh, well, now I don't feel bad at all for this.
Chaos guides me! May the Divine's will be done. I will not be deterred. The Emperor commands. Chaos guides me. Death to non-believers.
You attack at the wrong man. You think you could take Abelard in a fight.
As the tenants demand. I shall not
Are you a
fail.
traitor or a fool? Why
My
me?
blade whispers your name. The shadows will let your soul be purged.
Running by Lyric override. High momentum.
Indeed. At your back is more and better. I will do my duty. Will rule the stars themselves. I've seen worse battles than this in my time. At your beck and call. Victory is imminent. My place is at the fore.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Be careful not to cross my gaze. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Chaos guides me.
I feel nothing. Fear nothing.
Rejoice.
High momentum.
I am but a vessel for the higher purpose.
I am your blade and shield.
Death to the weak!
as honor orders, my blade whispers your name. Come, the other side awaits. Death is a blessing. As the tenets demand.
Request approved. The old Messiah condemns you.
Alright, collect what scraps they had on them. At the end of the wearer's turn, they gain temporary wounds equal to the amount of collision damage inflicted by the wearer. What's collision? Abilities. Oh, whenever you push. Okay.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
Davina the Outcast. Figuring the King Tatters is rocking to and fro, muttering indistinctly in several different voices, occasionally breaking into hoarse laughter as he comes close, frees, and turns to look at you. Ugly rusty mask, are you here? She takes Zadina to the other side. No? No. You're just wandering around in the dark, looking for the light, but it's nowhere to be found. You really not see it. Old Zadina, Zadina the Outcast, Zadina the Mad, Zadina the Disaster, Zadina the Curse, Zadina the Spurn. The woman hugs her arms to her chest and starts cackling while her broken chains link at her emaciated wrist and neck. Ghost of the past, the shadow of the present. Only the undying one knows. These gifts they are. The chains linked to announce Zadina's approach for others to hear. They hide fearful, becoming like Zadina, afraid of losing face. Here, where to the unfortunate meet their dead. Here, dumping ground for the bodies of those the undying one rejects. Here, where pestilence dwells. Zadina welcomes them all, talks to their ghosts. Here, where Zadina lives? Yes, that sounds right. You can't hear them. They don't like it when people come here. But Captain Diswell is clearly ill in both spirit and body. Best to leave her be. Her colors are all mixed, smudged, poised to reveal a pure shade of madness, and yet scarlet threads separate these trembling patches, preventing her from losing herself.
Let us walk this path to the end.
The shadows reveal their secrets. Watch out. Just as I was taught. The Vizier, would he be proud? Am I? Just as he ordained.
Operation successful.
User loses all of their temporary wounds and increases their melee damage. If worn by Dead Cold Assassin, when they wear gains a stack of blood, plus they also gain plus 10 toughness. Whenever an enemy kills an enemy, the explodes in a fountain of blood. The cells nearby are covered in blood as if they're affected by a blood file. Well, geez, that's just literally for her.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours. My faith is my shield.
This vicious rush. This is suspicious rash.
The Divine watches over us.
Well, this was a pretty worthwhile run.
Fortune smiles on us, an ill omen.
One man listened intently to sound. A distinct piece of cloth is wrapped around his eyes with greenish pot shooting from it. The old man lays his trembling hand protected on the hippotonic but searches his bed as well as his table. Could this be a true miracle of the Emperor, or is it another dream? Void rats gnawed them out while I was asleep, and the sewer water my wounds were washed with was infected, turns out. The pain became a stealing feeling that wouldn't go away, it only got worse. I heard the sound, the creak of your well-made soles against the metal. It's pleasing to the ear. You walk with confidence. You have everything you need. You do not take away from this old man as nothing. Oh, trader. I've waited. I waited so long, hoping to one day serve you with the crate. Big fool, that's our secrecy gone down. Right, folks, we're gonna have to make some noise. Leave no witnesses. Let's not a chance to taste the blessed craft.
Grovel before the faithful.
I'll level you! Scared yet?
Damages. Negligible.
Alright.
God Emperor, move through me! Be the fire in my heart! Let me tend to your wounds. Faith without... I am the Tempest! I will endure!
Let's get to it.
Oh, this'll
Good
leave
lord.
us.
And so shall it be done. I will not be deterred.
Clad in scarlet.
Man, if only you had gone first.
I'm afraid not. I am a navigator, not a servitor. I'll paint your death in colors.
I bring mercy and retribution. I shall not fail. The shadows will see it done. Trust me. As honor or death, the other side awaits. Death comes in silence. Trust me. As honor, death is a blessing. Trust me, killing brings me no pleasure.
The enemy's in one turn using the Death Vault's ability. Okay, so even if it shows the skull, as long as we win, they'll get up. I'm not sure. Perhaps those feelers believed in the tales of Nemesis. As it happens, I complained to the best, to Captain Friend or so, about some idiots who've been painting pictures on the walls, inciting people. What did he say? Got everything under control. Had I known it would come to this, I'd have nabbed those odds and thrown them into the pestilence pit myself, and now would be petrifying forces to no end. Boy, damn it all. Just the story they tell around here. There's this chap they say wandered the lower decks, helping them poor who can't earn a living for themselves, standing up to the officers and enforcers in defense of the weak, except he's just a story. In your case, you'll certainly hear you out, and not, you know. Our captain, you've helped some good families survive. Divide the cards among them and be sure to tell them that it was your lordship did good. I'll say. Another level up. I guess that was a lot of people. A lot of very weak people who died because she opened that eye for a second. Who would have thought doing a side quest would level me up twice? Always gotta do your side quests. That could be good. Yeah, we'll go ahead and boost our carouse. That could have been bad if I had failed that, I bet. Alright, you though. All right. Yeah. That could be good if he has a bunch of little shits and needs to swipe them. Increased cover efficiency. That could be pretty good with that shotgun because she runs around into half cover a lot. That reload's not really a thing. Restores additional wounds. That could be good. Especially if we need to heal somebody. Ooh, that could be good. I'll take this. Did I give you... Yeah, ballistic skill. That's what I need to give. The fencer eventually. Oh, that's not great. You have to use 2 points. Do that. Not a whole bunch, even with the sniper rifle. That's like what, 4 damage more? Somebody has to stack exploits, and he's only doesn't have enough AP to keep doing that. Perfect shot. Additionally grants the operator plus 8% against enemies that are perfect spot. That could be good against enemies with High armor. Increase your ballistic skill. I want you to be able to hit from a mile away. There we go. No. No, Ignatius literally has a 90 in it. You'll learn of the warp. What is the negative on the dodge penalty? 0.75? Oh, it jumps to 90.
The duty prevails.
It's the one way mark can make it possible to determine where the ship it came from and the scuff circle indicates the crates. Stolen autocannon. Really?
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
Who can use that? Not even Abelard. I guess nobody for now. Two-handed ranged weapon heavy. Burst fire 3 AP. Recoil 50. Range 8, maximum 16, 100 ammo. Foreman, I'm glad you come back to life.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Too. I almost missed that whole thing. His face changes strangely and his hand clenches into a fist. What? I didn't. The man starts and almost falls but manages to keep his body. In the dim lumen light, you know Soul's scar scatter across his body. The scar see vaguely smelling clear. This unit is used to train tracks for persons other than those intended by their design. I categorically demand that the unit's self-disposal be carried out using methods that do not violate the catches of a maintenance and operation. Scars all vary in length, width, depth, and shape. However, you notice a pattern in the way scars are aligned, as well as a series of painted death cultists bear similar marks on their bodies. The spinners are constantly renewing this result, but this man looks long since healed. This symbol of the Bloodspawn will have it come here every watch, but hasn't been here before now. I guess today must be a special day. You, have you come to take me to the other side? I do not know you. Death's gaze is not upon you. But then why? Why is it here? But I failed to complete my final assignment, so I was exiled from the cult. The seer told me to kill one who would be at a certain junction of the utility tunnels at a certain hour. Went to the appointed spot, then I waited. An hour, 2, 5, the junction was still empty. Nobody came. After hours of waiting, we finally realized the person at the junction had been me the whole time. It was my turn to go to the Undying One, but I was afraid. I couldn't do my duty or ran. But some would choose to leave the righteous path. These earned penance in due time. Her whip sings vengeance on renegade menace. Her blade passes sentence for cowards seek to hide their hearts. But death makes no pretendance. It takes what is due in essence. The third song of the Song of Trailing Blood. The seer recited presenting me on my final assignment. I didn't realize at the time it was my judgment. There are plenty of reasons. I sowed death. I offered him the souls of the most pleasant men and women I could find because I killed my Christians. I killed off crewmen who didn't deserve their wealth, and I took their thrones. I killed enforcers who looked into my eyes without fear because I wanted to be feared. I reveled in bloodshed. I betrayed the tenants. I realized it, but I couldn't help it because I enjoyed it. I've been afraid to touch my own knife since that day. Thought it might just stab me on its own, but the temptation was always there. There was no pursuit. I thought I'd see their black blades the very next day. Instead, years passed without them taking my heart. I tried starting a new life, but the terror never stopped eating at me. When I got truly desperate, I went to the Temple of Death myself, but no one there would speak to me. When I gave them my name, they just whispered, "Sabreed has gone to the Undying One." He looked at me like I wasn't there. I lived like this for 20 years, like a coward, like a dead man. That's so important. You were supposed to demand tasks failed apart that quickly turns into hysteria. His knees buckling and staggering slightly before falling on his back with the pitiful cry, "No help." Truly, it's better to die for him than to live for yourself. This he forgot.
Let us walk this path to the end.
Experience? Nothing matters more.
Oh, I lost the 50-50 on it, or the 90-10.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
Blood signs appeared. believe that was there, but I think it's because I missed that original guy. Second one, I take a drink.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
Oh, now I talk to her. Oh yes, the song. Here, listen. She wandered in eternity and dark, yet was consoled, left foretold. Undying one's blood, secrets glowed, a light of guide, her faithful fold. But threads must end, and so the spider did that which was owed. Her life and death his ship bestowed. He peered into the dark, so gradually to make out the outlines of objects hidden in the shadows, rotting corpses, rough walls, the twitching death threads of infected people left to eat that die. See no light in this place, only more darkness and despair. You don't see it, dude. You don't see. She takes her head frantically, starts tearing off the rash. Strips of her decaying flesh peel off along with them. You will not see anything like the seeds eating up the flesh.
Know your duty.
It is pronounced by a senseless and brutal death. Looking past them requires some unreasonably precise calculations or blind luck. Words can easily all of your doubt fade away. Somehow you know certainly that your life will not die here, not end here. It'd be crazy if I just died. The rogue trader of this massive ship with tens of thousands of people responsible. He just jumped into a vent fan.
Let us walk this path to the end.
The Undying was whispered that you would honor the temple of death with the visit. We are ready to serve you. Like, yeah. Theodora died, and we had a new guy, and he did not make it very far. He actually kind of killed himself, which was extra weird, even for us. Some aim for the bushes type shit.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
I don't know. I do not have good athletics for this place.
I shall repent. Accomplished. We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
Windows event provides basic construction from steel beams and floor stretching it ever higher. Not unlike a lab, the tempo is growing as if it were a living organism. cold stones or sarcophagi serve as the cultist's bed. The bones of their deceased comrades are their bedding.
The Divine watches over us. I rise
Smoke
above
make you such
hardships.
substances are known to induce visions or hallucinations. Frail old man, gray beard tinged with blood, folds his wrinkled hands in a ritual gesture. His body is covered in scars, some old, some fresh. His eyes are soon tightly shut. His mouth is cleft at both corners, making his jaw seem eerily snake-like. And the Lord of the Ark walked the paths of unlife in the footsteps of the web's very first spinner, and the servants of death bowed before him, for the Domin is the giver of life. The old man goes still, his head turned to the side. He nods towards the tip of mud with silence. Yes, yes, truth like a stream pours from your lips. We welcome him as the tenants demand. Your hues are almost as pale as the gray of your beard, but what is this? A scarlet whirlwind shines through the faded colors. Thin blade appears in the old man's trembling hands as those arms are stiff and look like they can barely bend, and the next instant the tiny symbols etched on his forehead dripping with blood. With a brief motion he flicks the blood off the blade and several drops land on your face. The blood spun well welcomes its new lord. I am the seer. For many years we have waited, and now you are here. Followers of the cult once inhabited the tunnels between the bay's bulkheads until threads of fate were tangled, and the Domin of ages past gave us this compartment. We set ourselves to building spacious halls where the shadows, the images of him, and the Spaniards themselves would whisper of death, and thus the temple that you see began to change with the succession of the seers and the cult's generations. We are building it still, slowly but surely. Death whispered your name and commanded us to honor you with the sacred ritual, but only inside the temple can the Spaniard perform it. Yes, we are glad that he has reached this place. We are glad to serve. His name we give to the first spinner, the one who learned the wisdom of the tenets of the web in order to lead others. I may have a duty to instruct and spin bloody threads, but in all other ways I am not just his servant, as yours or anyone else. Song of Trailing Blood tells of a path fraught with trial. By accepting and setting out on the path, you pass the first one, the trial of resolve. For not everyone is prepared to shun their fear and doubt and embark on a search for the unknown, a search for death. The trial of compassion was the second one. You passed when you put yourself, albeit briefly, in the service of another soul, a man suffering from burns. For the choice between life and death is to be made only by those willing to take responsibility for the pain of another. Third was the trial of justice, and assuming the role of judge for apostate of our faith, you declared your right to influence the ballot of death, that is, the errant soul had upset. And the fourth was the trial of duty, for duty always leads to death. We are prepared to render our duty to the undying one, fearless in accepting a purchase, which is to serve him. You too have proven yourself prepared, and the 4 trials are right ahead. But the tenets teach us that the lesson learned is in itself the supreme reward for one who is open to self-discovery. You see his stone-shot eyes soon appear into your face, studying it. Then he turns and speaks into empty space to me. Peace, my brother, the time has almost come. The tenets command us to be prepared for all trials, corporeal and spiritual alike. Are you prepared, Domin? His mouth closes, but you can steer his whisper. A prickling sensation in your face is making you increasingly anxious. You raise a hand to your cheek only as you can't feel it. You look at your palm and see a few smudges of drops of blood from the Visier's blade. A serene calm and vapor bows your body. Your fatigue subsides and you seem to float in the air, anything you have not noticed before. Shadows in the corner take on shifting color, the subdued gloom and light playing on the cultist's bone mask. Are they really masks? They're tall, lean, deed-eyed wearers might as well be dead people, which will run down your spine. Your heart is breathing slowly. Excuse me, 1 second. You seem to be under the influence of a potent stimulant. One moment, the walls of Death Sanctum grow infinitely wide. Next, they are so narrow as to make it hard to breathe. That is for you to tell me. Look at the vizier and his trembling brain seem small and insignificant. A single step is all it would take to crush him, but the visions are starting to wear off, and now the old man towers over you. Servant of death, hissed the echoing whispers from the temple, and the vizier bows his head reverently. You become the blood of the flagship. Now you become one of his faithful servants. We may not name you a spinner, for spinner's threat demands forsaking one's previous life. But the blood-spun web will still accept you. Don't allow it, but only for a domin who has followed the trailing blood until the end. Just a quick bath. On the virtual platform at the Undying Emperor's feet, under the keen gaze of his dark, empty eye sockets, you feel completely insignificant. Surprisingly, the thick blood pouring from his hands onto your brow, chest, and shoulders is still warm. You bow before his image of Vizier assumes a ceremonial posture with incredible ease, his withered body moving swiftly and soundlessly. You're slowly plunged into darkness to the sound of ritual chants and swooshing blades. Amid the noise of splashing blood and the closest whispers, you hear the words, "Death has spoken your name, Domin. Death accepts you." Each word consecrated to him echoes in your temples and chest. Your veins become hot and your blood turns a liquid flame. You have no fear in you. The whisper seems to come from the Emperor's lips of stone. I see you. Delirium intoxications to be playing tricks on your mind. The strange rash you develop in the Freightline's pestilence. It grows pale and scabs over. A healing grace descends upon you. Death has accepted you, Domin. Now for all time you are the Blood Warrior, the Undying One's most venerable servant. To many, he comes during their time of service, and images of blood and whispers from the shadow. Remember that those are mere visions, for true death will not come for you until your time. Then take your soul gently in its warming hand. Rituals complete, but you are not. Gestures to one of the constantly clear for the a strange garment to come closer. Oh, ritual vestments. For years, we have maintained fealty to the Domino. We have collected sacred symbols and relics. You are the first in 3 generations of lords and ladies to grace the sanctum, and the first of them all to be initiated, so we are grateful. We are uplifted in spirit. Pure exaltation and accept this gift, the vestment sewn from the bones of his faithful with the threads of death. Cultists whisper prayers to the Undying One as they change your clothes and regain your faculties. You become a spinner of the blood-spun web. I am fatigued. Alright. Way better armor. 10% dodge if I'm not in cover. And plus strength bonus wounds. What is that? Plus 1 wounds. Okay. Is it because I don't have strength bonuses? Looks pretty cool though. At the very least, it's better armor.
Blessed is von Valencia's bloodline.
Another word makes melee attack, I regain 1 wound. Good lord, she's gonna be tanky. Spinning. Peace below, you are the shield, you are the shadow, you are the blade, so be them.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Let me show you the way down. Yep, gotta talk to the guard. A few months since your last conversation, half his ears gone unanimously wearing bloody bandage under his uniform. How many served shootout? Raid on a local gang, we finally cleared out the counter room, smuggling goods to neighboring compartments. No one escaped. Many orders based on the inspection's conclusions. Oh, some of the stuff requires heel and uniform. Decided fate of the freight line of your void ship. Will do. We will increase the pressure on the untrustworthy element, conduct searches and interrogation of common criminals. You heard the rabble to prayer service and remind them that your lordship's law is a stern one. Trailblazer gained the ability faultless transform. Flagship's weapons deal 5% more damage and gain 5% critical hit chance. By virtue of strict discipline, the freight line double overs many nations with only minimal delay. The crews of the artillery bays now have more time to calibrate and maintain the ship's weapons. Until the next bay has a labor shortage, we were going to the workforce is reserved there. Shackled if need be. President lets out Mancy grabs his face filled with blood. Who dared? You went to the pestilence slit. You into the pestilence slit. Pardon me, Lord Captain. I just can't even begin to find the word I would use if I had to tell the Master at Arms that you had perished there. The enforcement do regular checks to see if there are any dangerous blight-stricken rejects hiding at the bottom. Leave up this job to us. Auto guns, purple spots appear on his face. Warp, take me. They couldn't bypass the security of a munitions frame and walked away with their cargo without help from someone on the enforcers. I executed one reprobate who was trafficking in weapons not too long ago, but even that moron wasn't so greedy and stupid as to arm the rabble with the auto guns. So there's another who dishonors the enforcer's uniform. I will find the maggot and shove their head on their passing train. The foreman. You won't believe the kind of thug T welcomes out his bat. I agree that the sympathizers of Nemesis anarchic cause may be involved in this outrage, but I don't trust the foreman character. He knows everyone in the bay. He sees everything, but he never informs on one of his own. He only complains about problems I am already well aware of. Geez, I just had an enforcer hanging for dwelling with a local gang. I'd hoped that lesson had been learned. By the Emperor, Lord Captain, you must be so unconcerned with your own safety. It is your duty to find and shoot lawless scum. Throne, you're going to be the best enforcer in the bay at this rate. compartment has just enough food to avoid starvation while kept. That is why the enforcers make sure that no servant has more cards than they're supposed to. They used to rip out people's tongues for it, but it reduced the punishment simply defeating the thieves and confiscating all their cards. The orders are to give these cards to workers who are starving due to lack of work shifts. Not that it helps them much, but it's better than opposite. Are there enforcers guilty of misreporting confiscated items? Yes. Do those cost you receives to your punishment? Absolutely. Alright, I think I did just about everything down there that I would want to do. Time passed 3 days. The new automatic order has been set.
Let us walk this path to the end.
You guys are still doing this?
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge. An expected result.
Your reference is sliding to pressure and you this miserable existence. Oh, we have a much more religious following down here now. A much more organized one. Prohibited goods have been confiscated.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
Much more orderly place it seemed. To wash off, draw a bit more discipline into you and put you to work. You're giving us some batons and uniforms. Ah, they're going through the full process. More enforcers. Defiance. Indolence. Defiance. Theft. Indolence.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
We spend every day doing honest work with a prayer on our lips as the Lord keeps paying servants ought to. We don't go about to slash ration. We don't weep for loved ones who are taken away to work another days. We respect our stern portions, as ferocious as they've been. We are obedient and seek to follow their rules. But there's too many people on this ship for it to be me, 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 me. Okay. It's only been 3 days. Give it a little bit more. Besides, they're not even having like fighting pits where they're just stabbing each other. How they pray.
Let the faith guide my path to glory!
Lord Captain Sir, I hope being in this bay has not caused you any inconvenience. Alright. Ah yes, let's go take a bath. Of course. We must have a nice bathe. I was in the pink pits. Cassie will paint my portrait. But Captain, it's most improper for us to be conversing in your bad chairman. Can I believe you wish me to paint a picture of you disrobed? I cannot. It is scandalous. This goes beyond every standard of decency. Well, you certainly are an interesting model. Nude portrait of the rogue trader. Lady Cassia's artistic interpretation of your naked form. You could spend hours trying to figure out which specific part of the painting is supposed to be your face or your leg, or if they are even depicted at all. Cassia picks up her brush. The two of you spend the next hour engaged in small talk, and her awkwardness soon gives way to intense focus as she becomes immersed in her art. This painting may not be what you had in mind, still this is how I see you and your colors. The canvas is a whirlwind of brightly colored paints. The outline of a human figure is suggested through broad, colorful strokes and fluid shapes. You would be hard-pressed to call it a portrait, but the series of abstract images and impressions do vaguely resemble your form. Cassia's cheeks turn pink and you feel a flush of embarrassment. You are most gracious. It would be a pleasure to paint like this again sometime, though perhaps in a more traditional environment. Selena musculated sit down awkwardly in the bathtub, clearly fighting the urge to stand at attention. Hundreds of years of clans have been responsible for ensuring the rogue trader's safety during times of leisure and relaxation. Guard the bath chamber just as my grandmother did before me. She trained me herself and instructed me in my duties. The bath chamber can be more dangerous than a battlefield sometimes. You can slip on wet tile, you can choke and drown if the water's too hot, you can burn yourself, but if it's too cold you can freeze. There have been even cases where angry machine spirits have released sparks to their fury in the water. Of course there have been numerous assassination attempts and... One stops abruptly as the other enforcer loudly clears his throat. It's reassuring that you are prepared for everything. The enforcer barely would conceal their excitement as they show delicious delicacies into their mouth to wash them down with obscenely expensive drinks. They've never experienced anything like this before and likely will never again. It is a feast they will not soon forget, a story they will tell their grandchildren someday. Well, in our off duty, we train, maintain our equipment, and freight regulation approved intervals. We do have some temps to ourselves. We might play some Tantalo and brand over your car staying out of soap scraps. But for the most part, we barely get enough time to rest. Show me. The enforcer looks slightly flustered, but gets quickly to work. After a while, he presents you with the bust of the Emperor, about half the size of your palm. The Emperor's vigilance has been recreated with incredible precision and attention to detail. Small carving surpasses the work of many a skilled sculptor. Clean. Well-deserved rest. A higher initiative in the next combat. Huh. An in-game reason to just take a bath. That is where we're going to go ahead and call it for today. It's getting close to time to wrap things up, and I just know I'm going to start the next thing and I'm going to immediately be hit by like 20 minutes of yapping. I do hope you are okay at the very least with me reading out all the text. I just feel like narratively it helps me learn games like this, as well as continuing to provide that sort of feel to people who are maybe listening to this and don't know what's happening. So for those of you who watched and those of you who got the YouTube channel or the live stream, I want to say thank you and have a good night.